Welcome to Tall Tales and Stories. Dive into a world where imagination knows no bounds. Here, we spin outrageous tall tales, thrilling adventures, and captivating stories that will leave you questioning what's real and what's not. Whether you're a fan of folklore, creative storytelling, or just love a good yarn, you've found your home. Subscribe now and let the stories begin.
Come on, boy, let's go. Mojo barked and fell in behind his beloved owner. These walks were the highlight of his day, and Mark took great pleasure in the joy he could see in his dog. He had heard stories about the Devil's Breakfast Table, a strange rock formation in the nearby Catoosa Wildlife Refuge. Local legend included whispers of a portal to hell nearby, a passage into the earth's bowels filled with fire and brimstone. As an agnostic, a man of science, Mark didn't believe that, but he was curious about the fuss. Today he was determined to find out. A 2-hour hike brought Mark and Mojo to the giant slab of sandstone that did resemble a table, but there was nothing sinister about it. A steep, heavily forested hillside directly behind the table looked like an excellent place to begin exploration. If nothing else, being a north-facing slope, it may harbor ginseng, which would be worth finding. As they slowly climbed, Mark noticed Mojo hanging back, having trouble with the loose shale. He stopped momentarily to catch his breath and allow him to catch up. As he called for Mojo, the shale under his feet shifted, and he lost balance and began a terrifying slide. He was swept past a frantically barking Mojo and disappeared in a boiling cloud of dust. Darkness enveloped Mark, and all thought ceased. Mark slowly became aware of his surroundings. Terror blossomed and replaced confusion as he surveyed the endless, desolate landscape. Billowing flames and thick, choking clouds of sulfur made every miserly breath an agonizing struggle. Grotesque, leathery beings patrolled the area, herding other unfortunates like beasts. Searing pain coursed through his body. Fear overwhelmed him as he struggled to comprehend his surroundings. He couldn't remember how he got here. The last thing he remembered was falling. As he surveyed the area, his eyes widened at the grotesque sights that greeted him. Twisted and tormented souls wandered aimlessly, their anguished cries echoing in the abyss. Demonic figures with leathery wings and gnarled horns prowled, relishing the torment of the damned. Mark instinctively searched for a way out, but there seemed to be no escape from this eternal prison. He happened upon a group of lost souls huddled together, their faces etched with despair, and approached them, hoping to find answers. "Where am I? What is this place?" Mark managed to croak, his voice barely audible amidst the cacophony of suffering. A worn-out man with hollow eyes turned towards him, his voice laced with resignation. "Hell," he replied. Mark's mind reeled at the revelation. Hell? But why? He had led a decent life, had he not? Doubts and questions swirled within him, but he couldn't find any logical explanation for his presence in this infernal abyss. Days turned into nights, and nights into an endless cycle of torment. Mark experienced excruciating pain, his body subjected to unimaginable horrors. He lost all sense of time. The concept of day and night meant nothing in this godforsaken place. Amidst the chaos and suffering, a figure stood out. The demon, whose fiery red eyes pierced Mark's soul, sported a hot, twisted grin that seemed to revel in the torment of others. With a voice that dripped with sadistic pleasure, the demon approached Mark and sneered. "Enjoy your stay. I know I will." Mark's heart sank as he tried to recall his past deeds. Memories of anger, jealousy, and selfishness flooded his mind. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into what felt like an eternity. The flames of hell licked at Mark's body in a constant, eternal roasting, but something unexpected began to stir within him. Remorse. He longed for another chance, an opportunity to redeem himself. In despair, Mark sought the company of other lost souls, sharing their guilt and yearning for forgiveness. A new torture soon manifested. A growling, slavering demon stood over him, a grotesque snake-like tongue lolling out of its toothy maw. Mark screamed in terror and revulsion as the beast licked his face and grabbed him with its muzzle, dragging him along the landscape. The pain of his skin abrading and the revulsion of the slobbering tongue nearly broke Mark's mind and soul. A desperate cry for mercy, a plea for God to help him, bubbled out of Mark's shredded lips. Instantly, the sun's light replaced the hellish landscape. His beloved dog replaced the growling beast, heroically digging him from the rock slide, lovingly licking his face to bring his master back from wherever he had gone. As Mark's senses returned, he realized what had happened. He owed his life, perhaps his soul, to Mojo. Was this hellish experience real, or just the fevered imagination of an injured man? The only certainty is a good dog is never a bad thing to have.